Recording in progress.
So today we're gonna study IELTS rating, but first, when we read a paragraph, the first thing that we have to do together is try to define the sentence in English. So we need to use our English for us to define the sentences in our own English, right? So here, first headlamps. Before electricity, light was tricky business. Tricky electricity. So flames cast limited light are vulnerable to winds and weather and can lead to disaster. Electricity. So before electricity, light was tricky business. Of from the first sentence, let's look at the first sentence together. So how do we study here? Here, okay, we need to get the words from the sentence, and then we try to make context based on the words picked from the sentence. So here I go with my case. Before electricity, Vietnamese English, American English, electricity. All right. Before electricity, light was tricky business. Tricky business. This word, I love it. Let's go. Oh, very nice underline. It makes me feel so pleasant when I see colors. So today, okay, we'll just keep talking and keep speaking until we feel satisfied with the result. Before electricity, life was tricky business. So why do people call it tricky business? It should be okay. It should be the reason for people to call this one tricky business, right? It should be the reason. People keep saying that the reason why, okay, for me to minimize the screen is that I want you to feel a little bit closer to nature. It's like we need to look at we need to have a beautiful scenery right in front of our eyes in order for us to feel motivated for speaking. Somehow we cannot speak well, and this is how we train ourselves, okay, to be able to speak when we are stuck in ideas or when we don't have any ideas at all. So let's start. Tricky business. When it comes to electricity, nobody knows how people make money from electricity. For example, just like our houses, our families, when we use, okay, electricity, we don't know the we don't know the way they used to calculate. We don't know the ways they use to calculate the bills or the amount of money of electricity. So people keep saying light, okay, I have to pay a lot of money for electricity, okay, bill at the end of the month. People keep saying that, and nobody ever has a right or an authority to stand up and to ask for, okay, the ways to calculate the electricity. Calculate. Yeah. So here I'm gonna use the another word file to help you. Let's go. Hmm. So first of all, we have the word like this: authority. Authority. You can say I have a right to do this, but that is basic English. We should use the word authority in this case. So we are speaking of electricity bills, electricity costs, and what is it called? A tricky business. Every time we receive a bill from government, and we feel so surprised, especially in the summer. In the summer, okay, in the hot weather like in Vietnam, and these days the weather changes a lot. Lots of changes in the climate, and the government keeps okay charging us more money for electricity charge. Okay, they keep charge right here. I need to charge. So when somebody charges you, it means that that person makes you pay more money. So get the words here. I need you to make a situation. Okay, is authority, right, and charge in English. Here are the words. So here, tricky business. What is it called? A tricky business. Why not? Why not tricky? When it comes to electricity, government knows the ways to government knows the ways to calculate bills, but as residents just like us, we don't know how to calculate the bills. We don't know how to calculate the amount of electricity consumed by us, and we don't have any formulas for us, okay, to calculate formula. So this is the reason why people keep saying that electricity is a tricky business in Vietnam or in Asian countries. Asian countries are are in the system of socialist government. All right, you remember the system, right? And then we have the word like this: socialist, socialist. Okay, socialist government. It's not like the Democrat government. It is socialist. So when it comes to electricity, the only company that can make much money, that is governmental organizations. We okay as independent countries. We as a single owner country, a single owner company, we cannot make much money from okay electricity. Even if you want to install some solar panels on the roof of your house for generating electricity, it is impossible for you to install to have such installations, because the government will prevent people from installing the solar panels. They want people okay to use the electricity produced by governmental companies, and this is the way that the government earns lots of money from residents just like us. So when it comes to the very first sentence, they say before electricity, light was tricky business. But here we pay attention to the word electricity, and we are not talking about the time period before electricity. We are talking about the present time, the present case, the present dilemma of electricity. So here, in my case, I have used these words: authority, right, charge, formula, system, socialist government. And here, okay, is your turn right now, Crazy. So, Crazy, show me your words, please. Show me your ideas. Sorry, ideas, not words. Let's go, Crazy. So, what do you think about? How do you think about the governmental system of electricity calculation? Here is the topic. Here is the topic. It's a very hard topic, right? Very hard one. How do you think, okay, about about the governmental system of electricity consumption calculation. Let's go crazy. Show me your ideas. And please, okay, you need to listen to yourself, you need to feel yourself, and try to speak, okay, confidently. If you have any pauses right in the middle of your speaking, don't feel scared or worried. It's not your job, it's not your responsibility to make the listeners feel professional. Just let yourself have pauses. When you are done with pauses, you will see how yourself grow, right? So let's go crazy. Show me your situation, please. So, you are muting your mic. If you are speaking, turn on your mic.
My situation is uh, the government system for um, counting the use of electricity is not easy because it has many parts. Um, and the government uh, make rules about the price, the price about the price the electricity company can check. So
Very good. And so,
they say the companies must report how much the electricity is make each move and uses.
all
Uh,
right.
uh,
Yeah.
I think the way this work can be very different. But the government, um, no, that's all.
All right. Here, okay, it seems like you cannot find enough ideas. Maybe, okay, maybe because you are suffering from your shortage of English vocabularies, right? Here, okay, in order for us to keep speaking unstoppably, we should have a big network of vocabularies. When we encounter shortage of vocabs, we have to update ourselves with vocabularies as fast as possible. Here, let's talk about the governmental system of electricity consumptions calculation. Here again, you can pay attention to the word electricity consumption in order for you to generate ideas. This is how we generate ideas. We target our eyes at the keywords that we want ourselves to lay the concentration on. And here electricity, you can start to talk about the dark sides of electricity in Vietnam. For example, you can say that in Vietnam, okay, we don't know how to solve electricity problems. Even if you go on a vacation, you don't use electricity at home. You turn off all the equipment and all the tools, all the electric tools. You still have to pay for bills for no reasons. So when you check the electricity bill, you find out that the amount of money you should pay for this month is too high for you to handle. And at this time, you find out that you don't have any clothes. Okay, I use the word like this: don't have any clothes. We don't have any clothes. No clothes. We have no clothes. We have no clothes. We have no clothes. about the ways of electricity calculation. The government publicized the government publicly the government has already publicized the system of the system in how to calculate the amount of electricity for each household. Hộ dân, household, right? Household. It means hộ dân. Although the government has already publicized the formula for people to read and for people to be able to calculate the electricity amount consumed each month, but it is impossible for each of us to know the exact way, the exact formula of electricity calculation. That is the reason why, each household feels very stressed and very scared whenever summer comes, especially at this time. The climate changes a lot. The heat is boiling. The heat keeps rising higher and higher. We cannot control the temperature of the weather anymore due to global warming, due to natural disasters. So this is the reason why when we live in this kind of country, we are very scared of governmental system. This kind of system does not protect the benefits or the rights of people. This kind of system just keeps charging people. They charge us a lot of bill for road constructions, bills for electricity consumption, bills for water consumption. So here, when we live in this kind of country, we don't have an authority. We don't have an authority to speak up or to suggest, a better way to control the system. We don't have an authority to check the way that they work, just like in any other foreign countries. So here in my situation, I have used the word authority and charge thì gọi là tính tiền trong tiếng Anh, tính tiền. Như vậy, khi mà mình nói về một cái vấn đề như thế này, ở đây thì mình đang bóc từ một cái câu của một cái gọi là một cái bài IELTS ra, và mình lấy từ vựng ra mình đàm thoại với nhau. Tại vì câu này nó quá dễ, câu nào khó thì mình sẽ giải thích, rồi mình lấy từ vựng ra mình đàm thoại. Thì ở đây nói như thế này, nói về cái sự tiêu thụ điện thì mình sẽ nhớ đến cái danh từ được gọi là sự tính toán. Tính như thế nào là calculate, và danh từ của tính toán được gọi là calculation. Authority thì được gọi là những cái quyền hạn, cái quyền, mình có quyền làm cái gì đấy. Have no clues about cái gì đó, có nghĩa là mình không có được một cái manh mối, không có được bất cứ cái thông tin gì về cái cách mà người ta tính tiền. Household được gọi là hộ dân, từng gia đình là each family hoặc là each household. Publicize được gọi là người ta công bố công thức trên mạng, công bố công thức trên mạng, công bố publicize, công bố công thức trên mạng, nhưng mà không có ai biết được cái công thức này nó giúp được gì cho mình tính tiền điện nhưng mà cái bill nó ra lại khác hoàn toàn, và mình cũng không có một cái quyền nào mà để nói lên, và mọi thứ thì chính phủ cái hệ thống này cứ tính tiền mình, right, và mình phải pay cho tất cả các bills. Đó là cái cách mà mình khơi gợi cái ý tưởng. Và ở đây thì mình hay gọi là cộng hòa xã hội, thì đây là cái chế độ cộng hòa thì người ta sử dụng từ socialist, alright, socialist. System được gọi là cái hệ thống của nó. So let's start. Và bây giờ thì bạn sẽ đưa ra cái ý tưởng bạn nói nha. Let's start, Crazy. Show me your speaking. Please try to use these words in your speaking. Pay attention to the key topic, electricity consumption. Let's go, Crazy. So let's speak up, Crazy. Show me your thoughts.
My situation
Here, okay, I don't ask you to give me, okay, a no situation. I need you to practice all the words given on the screen, and you need to make a case of electricity consumptions calculation, so that you will be able to make use of those words on the screen. Let's go, Gracie. Show me. So,
Um, I need time to think.
all right. So when you are thinking, I'm gonna keep talking until you can voice out. All right. Okay. So here, let's talk about governmental system. The governmental system. Governmental. Please wait. Govern. Okay. Governmental system. Very good. Govern. We have, okay, the first one, that is govern. Governmental. Here, I have a few words to show you. The first word I have, that is the government. Government. The second word, govern. This is an action verb. And the last word, that is governmental. Governmental. An adjective in English. An adjective. So here, I can say, okay, alright, tricky business. Why is electricity considered as a tricky business? A tricky business. We don't say business, we say business, man. Business. Please remember, business. All right. So why is electricity regarded as tricky business? In Vietnam, okay, the government governs everything, and the government governs every kind of organization, from small size groups to bigger size organization, especially when it comes to fields of water or electricity. The government will be fully in control of the system. So you can see that whenever it comes to natural resources, the government take control of the natural resources thoroughly. This kind of system, this kind of government will not let residents or normal people or talented people to be, okay, to have his or her foot in the game. So that is why, okay, we feel very unfair, and we feel very frightened when it comes to the system management. We cannot manage the consumption of electricity in our household. That is why, okay, we people keep saying that I don't have an authority in my country. I don't have an authority to speak up, and I feel so scared. I feel like my freedom is restricted for some reasons. Ah, freedom. When I speak of the word, okay, when I speak of the word authority, I use the word like restrict. Okay, restrict is an action verb in English. Restrict, restricted, restricted. When you use this word restrict, it means there are limits. There are limits in your action. But limit is a noun in English, and boundary is another noun in English. So here I have a few words for you, okay, to think of first. Okay, limit, boundaries, boundaries. Okay, boundary. These are noun in English, and we also have, okay, the action verb like restrict. So here I'm speaking of electricity consumption. As a household in Vietnam, I consume lots of electricity per month. My electricity bill is around 2 million Vietnam dong every month. I feel pressure too, man. I feel under lots of pressure, because I don't know how they calculate the amount of electricity consumed by each household. Although I use Google to look up the formula they will use Google to look up the formula that is publicized in public for residents to be able to get the exact calculation for electricity consumption. But when we use this kind of formula, we are unable to get the accurate calculation of electricity which is used by us. That is why we are charged a lot of money, and we don't even know whether the formula which is publicized on the internet is the right formula or not. And even though we don't know the formula, the authority of our district or the government of of this country still keep silent. They keep silent. They don't speak up. They don't show us anything. They just keep silent, and they let the social media speak up. So every time we go on TikTok, or every time we we log in our Facebook, we can see lots of posts, about pressures of paying bills, paying electricity bills or water bills, but nobody ever is protected by the government. They don't say anything about the formula, about the ways to calculate the consumption of electricity or the consumption of water. So that is the trick here. We can say electricity electricity field in this country is such a tricky business. When it is tricky, nobody knows the way of it. Nobody knows how it is operated. Nobody knows how it is calculated. So we have to say that we, as a resident in this country, we don't have an authority to voice up. We don't have an authority to let the government to let the government understand us. So that is my ideas when it comes to electricity consumption calculation. If you have any ideas, please raise your hand, and I'm gonna give you a turn to speak up. If you still find yourself if you still find yourself in need of more time to generate ideas in mind, I'm going to keep moving to the next sentence. Flames cast limited light. Flames cast limited light. Oh gosh, I love this sentence. Look at this sentence. Flames cast limited light. So let's talk about this sentence. You know, flames, when we use candles, the fire produced from the candles is called flame. And flames cast, it means flames produce the light. But the light here is not bright enough. So that is why people say limited light. It means the light is not bright enough for us to see things. So here again, they use a very good word here, limited light. Flames cast limited light. Flames produce light which is not bright enough, are vulnerable to winds and weather, and can lead to disasters. Flames are vulnerable to winds. Flames are vulnerable to weather. Why do they say flames are vulnerable to winds? Okay, let's talk about this one. Flames, okay, vulnerable. When something is vulnerable, it means that thing is no good to us. That thing is no good. That thing is no good to us. Like, I am vulnerable when I meet him. It means I don't want to meet him. I feel like he is such a big problem in my life. He is so troublesome. He is so problematic. I don't want to meet him at all. I just want to lock myself inside my house, and I want to stay away from him. So they can say that he is vulnerable. I am vulnerable. When I see him, I feel so weak. I feel so hurt, okay, inside my heart when I see him. So when you say you are vulnerable, it means you are hurt inside. You are hurt. You are hurt from the inside to the outside, from inside to out, for example. So here, hurt, the feelings of hurt. But flames cannot feel hurt. Flames are vulnerable to winds. It means flames are easily damaged by winds. Flames are easily sabotaged by weather. Let's just imagine you are living in a countryside and you just want to have a little bit of light in the garden because you want to feel the night, the countryside night with okay the bright moon outside and all the trees okay are in very dark side. You cannot recognize the trees vividly. You feel the wind blowing very hard. You feel the trees okay very high up in the sky, but you cannot see trees clearly, especially in at night like this in the countryside. So you wish you would have okay candles which will help you to produce flames. So flames, when you use candles outside in the garden, when the winds blow so hard, the wind will blow off your candle. And when the wind blows off the candle, it means the wind just blow away the flame, and the flame just all of a sudden disappear from the candle. So flames are vulnerable to winds, which means flames are suffering hard from winds. So this is how we understand. Okay, this is how we try to understand the sentence when it comes to okay, studying reading skill like this. I will not use Vietnamese, but I will use okay, very simple English in order to have you to understand. And can lead to disaster. Flames lead to disaster, of course. Just one candle in the middle of a paddy field. Just imagine a candle lit up in the middle of the garden, and in the garden there are lots of papers. What is it going to happen if the candles are blown off and the candles fall down onto the crowd, and the flame from the candle will catch fire. Okay, from we make the paper burnt in fire. So that is how they say flames can lead to disaster. Before electricity, light was tricky business, which means before electricity brought to our life, light was the most expensive light was the most expensive matter that we have to spend our money. Because if you want to have light, you need to spend uh, a specific amount of money on buying candles from the market. And as we know that back in history, like 20 years ago, life was such life was so miserable, and nobody had enough money to buy rice, not to mention flames or candles. We suffered from hunger. We suffered a lot from starvation. So when it comes to flame, okay, it is such a tricky business. That is right, tricky business in this case. And here, okay, I am talking about the period of time before electricity brought to our life. I keep saying that. I keep saying something like this. I'm gonna type it out for you. Okay, crazy. Starvation. Okay, starvation. Starve. Okay, starve. Here, on hunger, hunger, hungry, hungry. And then I use the word like suffer from. And crazy, when you are speaking, please try to use verb up and verb 3 ed at the end of your sentence, or verb in at the end of the sentence, because this structure will help you to increase your scores when you sit an IELTS test or a foreign English test, right? So please, okay, please, let's go. And once again, this is like a C1, okay, English class. This is a C1, okay, C1 speaking. Please remember C1 speaking here. So, okay, it seems like we are stuck in ideas whenever we talk about starvation or starve. Flames cast limited light are vulnerable to winds and weather and can lead to disaster. Making fire portable and dependable was so difficult that lies on moving vehicles were hardly ever considered. So let's read this sentence again. Let's read this sentence again. We have a sentence like this, guys. Please pay attention. I'm gonna use something. Oh my gosh. How do I draw? I want to draw. Okay, I want something. Okay, so it's much better. All right, so please pay attention to this sentence. Making fire portable and dependable. So we need to pay attention to this phrase first. Making fire portable and dependable. Portable. Phones are portable. It means you can carry your phone everywhere with you. Wherever you go, you can carry it with you. So that is portable. Here, fire is portable. What they want to say is you can bring light with you when you go outside. In the past, back in the past, we didn't have electricity. We didn't have electric lights. We didn't have electric equipment. Whenever we need light, we have to carry candles with us. So that is why they say fire portable, dependable. You depend on somebody. You are called a dependable person. A dependable. All right, please wait. Dependable. Fire is dependable. It means you can depend on fire. When I say you are dependable, it means I can depend on you. So dependable means a thing is dependable, a person is dependable. It means you will be able to depend on that thing. You will be able to depend on that person because that thing or that person is trustworthy. 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 I love this. All right. So here, let's look at the sentence. Making fire portable and dependable was so difficult that lights on moving vehicles were hardly ever considered. Lights on moving vehicles were hardly ever considered. Hardly means no. It means were not considered. So the lights on moving vehicles were not considered, which means okay, whenever we drive our motorbike, we have the light on the motorbike. But okay, but when we drive the motorbike so fast, the light of the motorbike will will disappear all of a sudden. For example, you drive from spot A to spot B and you drive at a very fast speed. The light of the motorbike cannot be focused on one target. The light of the motorbike will be spread all over the places. So the faster you drive, the quicker the light will be moved out of space. So when you are sitting at home, you see the motorbike passing by your house, you will feel why is it so fast and you cannot see the light anymore, and your house just gets back to its darkness. So this is the meaning of this sentence. Making fire portable was difficult was difficult. It means portable fire, which means a portable light on the motorbike. Motorbike has a light equipment, and this light equipment produces light for people to use when they drive this vehicle. But we cannot stay in one place forever with the bike. We need to move with the bike when we want to drive from spot A to spot B. So when you drive with your motorbike, the light will go with you. The light of the motorbike will just go with you, and you cannot share the light of the motorbike with anyone. So this is the meaning of this sentence. Making fire portable and dependable was difficult because lights on moving vehicles were not considered. All right. So here, let's get back to this saying. Let's get back to this sentence. Sorry. On here. Okay, so now you need to prepare yourself, Crazy, because I need you to speak up. And before you speak up, I'm gonna need a few moments to help you to capture the key meaning of this sentence. Và bây giờ thì trước khi mà Crazy nói thì mình sẽ có một vài giây để nhìn nhận lại cái chủ đề nhé. Chủ đề này thì người ta đầu tiên thì hồi nãy mình đang nói là bạn nghĩ như thế nào về cái hệ thống của chính phủ? Bạn suy nghĩ như thế nào về hệ thống tính sự tiêu thụ điện của chính phủ? Thì khi mà nói về cái này thì nó đang có một cái từ rất hay được gọi là tricky business, được gọi là cái công việc kinh doanh kiểu mà lừa đảo ấy. Thì đây mình đang có từ government là chính phủ. Govern có nghĩa là chính phủ người ta điều phối, chính phủ người ta quản lý. Từ cái chữ govern có nghĩa là quản lý và điều phối. Governmental có nghĩa cái gì đó mà liên quan đến chính phủ thì mình sẽ dùng cái tính từ là governmental. Authority cái nghĩa thứ nhất là chính quyền, cái nghĩa thứ hai có nghĩa là cái quyền của mình làm cái gì đó. Một là chính quyền, hai là quyền hạn. Thì ở đây cái quyền của mình được nói, quyền của mình được đề nghị, quyền của mình được chia sẻ để được nhận cái sự giải thích về cái cách mà tính cái sự tiêu thụ điện. Nhưng cái quyền của mình nó sẽ bị giới hạn. Thì mình đang có một cái động từ giới hạn này, từ restrict là động từ mình giới hạn cái gì đấy. Còn mà limit là danh từ, boundary là danh từ. Giới hạn mà limit là nói về cái giới hạn về con số, về dữ liệu. Còn boundary là nói về cái giới hạn về cuộc sống, về sự vật, về sự việc. Giống như là tôi đặt ra cái giới hạn cho bạn thì người ta sẽ dùng từ boundary. Limit là dùng về con số, còn boundary là về tất cả các cái gì trong cuộc sống của mình. Have no clues about, mình không có bất cứ cái manh mối, mình không có bất cứ cái mánh khóe nào, mình không có bất cứ một cái kiến thức nào về cái cách mà tính tiền điện. Thì ở đây tuy người ta công bố cái gọi là cái công thức là formula, công bố là publicize, công bố cái công thức mà tính điện trên mạng cho từng hộ dân là household. Và công bố như thế thì để làm gì? Để mình dễ quản lý, được gọi là manage, được gọi là quản lý. Mình quản lý hoặc là mình kiểm soát. Thì từ kiểm soát thì hãy nhớ đến cái từ là control, quá dễ ha. Quá dễ khi biết nhưng mà nói rất là khó nha. Mình dễ thì mình biết mặt chữ thôi, nhưng mà nếu mà nói mà tập thực hành thì nó là một cái yếu tố khác nữa. Charge đây được gọi là tính tiền trong tiếng Anh. Formula công thức, system hệ thống, và chính phủ của nền dân chủ cộng hòa socialist government. Thì ở đây thì em cứ nhớ về cái sự mà tiêu thụ điện, nói về cái hóa đơn tiền điện, nói về cái sự mà khó chịu của mình khi mà cái hóa đơn tiền điện mà mình không có kiểm soát được, mình không có biết được cái cách mà tính tiền ấy. Thì đó là cái topic đầu tiên của cái chữ là tricky business. Và ở đây nó đang có một cái từ rất là hay được gọi là flames cast limited light, có nghĩa là những cái ngọn lửa đó, những cái ngọn lửa nó sẽ cung cấp cho chúng ta những cái ánh sáng mà nó bị giới hạn. Thì ngọn lửa cung cấp ánh sáng bị giới hạn có nghĩa là ngọn lửa trên nến, các bạn có thể tưởng tượng ngọn lửa trên nến. Trong ngọn lửa nến thì cái ngọn lửa đó làm gì mà nó đủ sáng, đúng không? Nó chỉ là sáng một chút xíu thôi. Như vậy cái từ sáng, ánh sáng là gì? Ánh sáng là light ha. Ánh sáng là light. Còn mà sáng trong tiếng Anh, sáng mà sáng sủa đấy, thì mình đang có tính từ rất là hay được gọi là bright. Thì gọi là tính từ sáng. Còn cái độ sáng của nó là nó ít hay nó nhiều. Thì mình nói với cái độ sáng thì mình đang dùng một cái danh từ được gọi là brightness. Nhưng mà cái độ sáng của nó ít, the brightness of the flame is just little. I cannot see anything clear. cái độ sáng mà của cái ngọn lửa nó quá ít đi, nó rất là ít, tôi không thể thấy bất cứ cái gì mà nó rõ ràng. Như vậy ngọn lửa vulnerable to winds là ngọn lửa nó sẽ bị dập tắt bởi gió này, và thời tiết là cái từ vulnerable có nghĩa cái từ mà tổn thương đau khổ đó. Và cái đó là dùng cho con người, còn dùng cho mà vật á, thì sự việc thì có nghĩa là cái sự việc nào đó nó sẽ làm cho sự việc nào đó bị tiêu hủy hoặc bị phá hủy bởi cái gì đấy. Thì cái từ vulnerable mà dạy cho sự việc thì mấy bạn hãy nhớ là có chữ to be damaged, to be damaged by. So here, to be vulnerable to something, the same as to be damaged by. To be damaged by. This is the case. Making the portable dependable. Making fire portable and dependable. Cái từ dependable có nghĩa là có thể được dựa dẫm. Có thể được dựa dẫm có nghĩa là người đó rất là đáng tin cậy nên người khác có thể được dựa dẫm. I am dependable. Tôi có thể được dựa dẫm. It means người khác có thể dựa dẫm vào tôi. Như vậy cái gì mà có thể, cái từ able là cái đuôi có nghĩa là có thể, phụ thuộc là depend. Dependable có nghĩa là có thể được phụ thuộc, có thể phụ thuộc. Là khi mình dùng cái từ dependable hãy nhớ là A mà dependable có nghĩa là B có thể depend on A. Đó, nhớ như vậy cho nó dễ. Making fire portable. Làm cái gì đó portable có nghĩa là bring cái gì đó everywhere with you, có thể mang nó đi bất cứ nơi nào mà mình muốn. Making fire portable and dependable was so difficult that lights on moving vehicles were hardly ever considered. Làm cho making nè, sản xuất nè, hoặc là làm nè, sản xuất ra những cái ngọn lửa, sản xuất ra những cái ánh sáng mà có thể mang đi bất cứ nơi nào và có thể tiện lợi cho người dân, thuận tiện cho người dân. Cái gì mà thuận tiện thì mình dựa vào đó mình xài, đúng không? Thì cái từ dependable trong cái trường hợp mà nói về sự việc thì có thể hiểu bằng từ convenient để cho nó dễ hiểu. Mình phải cảm nhận được cái từ dependable này trong tiếng Anh á, mình xài được nó rồi thì lúc đó thì mình đọc qua cái văn tự này nó rất là dễ hiểu. Còn mình chưa xài được nó thì mình phải tìm một cái từ khác thay thế nó. Making fire portable and dependable was so difficult that lights on moving vehicles were not considered. Như vậy làm cho hoặc là sản xuất ra lửa fire hoặc là sản xuất ra những cái thiết bị ánh sáng có thể mang đi bất cứ đâu và thuận tiện rất là khó, tại vì ngay cả những cái ánh sáng mà trên những cái chiếc xe đang chạy á, moving vehicles, trên những cái phương tiện đang chạy tại vì những cái ánh sáng trên những cái phương tiện đang chạy mà còn không thể nắm bắt được. Tại cái từ consider thì gọi là xem xét, cân nhắc, đúng không? Và đây là were hardly considered. Cái gì mà hardly có nghĩa là bằng nghĩa với từ not. Were not considered. Cái gì mà không consider có nghĩa là cái đó không được tôn vinh, không được cân nhắc, không được sử dụng. Thì nó đang nói về cái ánh sáng mà có thể mang bất cứ đến nơi nào cũng được hết. Và cái ánh sáng nó rất là thuận tiện, mà nó đang đề cập đến một cái phương tiện mà di chuyển như thế này. Thì ý nó nói rằng là cái ánh sáng sản xuất ra một cái dụng cụ ánh sáng có thể mang bất cứ nơi nào cũng được. Điều này nó rất là khó. Was so difficult that. Điều này rất là khó tại vì. So that, cho nên. Nghĩa thứ hai của nó là tại vì. Trong trường hợp trong ngữ cảnh nha. Was so that, tại vì so that là cái câu nó bổ sung ý nghĩa cho từ difficult. Như vậy khi mà nó bổ sung ý nghĩa thì mình có thể hiểu bằng cái chữ tại vì. Nó sẽ đúng cái cấu trúc mà nó rất là hay nha. Was so difficult that. Đó rất là khó. Cái việc mà sản xuất ra ánh sáng để mang đi bất cứ đâu cũng được thật sự rất khó, tại vì cái ánh sáng á, mà trên những cái phương tiện á, mà trên những cái phương tiện di chuyển á, mà trên những cái phương tiện đang di chuyển rất khó được nắm bắt, rất khó được để duy trì. Chiếc xe đang di chuyển thì làm sao mà mình lấy cái ánh sáng đó ở tại cái vườn của mình hoài được. Nó di chuyển đến đâu thì cái ánh sáng nó di chuyển đến đó, và xe di chuyển đến đâu thì ánh sáng đi đó. Thì đó là cái cách mà người ta viết văn trong tiếng Anh này. Đọc một hồi mới hiểu đối với mà mấy bạn mà không có đọc văn nhiều ấy. Còn nếu mà mấy bạn đọc văn nhiều thì mấy bạn sẽ hiểu. Và hiểu văn là một chuyện, xài văn được mới là hay ha. Và bây giờ mình đến cái lúc mà mình xài văn nè. Alright, và cái văn đầu tiên mà em cần sản xuất là cái văn của How do you think about the governmental system of electricity consumption calculation? Crazy, let's go. Take a deep breath and let's go, Crazy.
I think the most important part of system is the electricity companies measure um, and they follow the users electricity electric by homes, business and factories. They will report this user data to the government who monitor the electricity industry and um, they will look at the user's data along with the cost that electricity companies have to pay for transport for provide the electricity, and they will base on this information. Um, the government, the electricity government will base on this information to decide the electricity price, uh, which the company or the business or home allowed to no the electricity government will base on this information to decide the electricity price that the companies are allowed to charge customer, and the government publicly publicize their formulas and pricing policies used by electricity authorities. Um, and I feel the government system for calculating electricity use is a complex data-driven process, as balancing the the, the need of electricity user, the electricity companies, and um, environmental role. And I think the system continue to develop as new technology develop. That's
The system continues to develop as new technology develops. It's okay. I understand the sentence. But here, you need to pay attention to your intonation, the intonation, the way that you raise your voice, and the way that you lower your voice. This is very important. This is very important for you. Okay, intonation. We have the word like this, intonation. So pay attention to the volume of yours, of your voice. When you feel you need to speak more, raise your voice. But when you want to end the sentence in peace, lower your voice. If you want to end the sentence in anger, or you want to end the sentence in a way that makes the listeners feel curious, or you want to make the listeners want more information from you, you will choose to raise your voice, right? Intonation. And there is one word that I get from your speaking. You say exile. Can you repeat the word with the word exile? Can you repeat the sentence with the word exile? Because I don't know. Okay, what is it about exile? Exile, something like this. So you have to double check your vocab again for this word exile. All right. And here we come to the next. Oh, your speaking is very good, Gracie. After hard work and after careful preparation, you can give me such a good presentation. I feel very proud. I feel so good right now. Although it feels so tiring. I am not distracted by the tiredness of this reading. I feel much better. Okay, thanks a lot for your improvement. Here we have the word like starvation, hunger, starve, suffer from. So here, do you have any ideas for this topic? Because I keep talking and I keep showing you okay ideas. All right. So here we are gonna close. Yeah, I'm gonna close everything here. And here we are just alone and talk to each other, looking at the picture. I don't know why I love looking at picture like this. What? Oh no, it will end. Please wait. I have to fix it. What? No internet connection, man? Say, what did I do? Crazy. Crazy software. Thanks, Miss Han. My software encounters technical disruptions. Alright. Alright, so let's talk for a few minutes. We have to keep talking until the class has reached its target. So here, okay, here is the case. When you talk, please try to pay more attention to everything. I mean everything here. I mean the grammar, the vocabulary, the pronunciation. If you find something, something bad, if you find something bad about the word, and you have a feeling like you need to double check the word, there is a way for you, okay, to distract the there is a way for you to distract the listener, like you start to talk about another thing which is relevant or which is related to the topic of concern, and then you can after you have time to double check your knowledge, you will be able to come back to the topic. So this is the way that we train our this is the way that we distract the listener. When we find out that we need to find a verb, we need to find a vocabulary, we need to find a word that helps us to use in speaking. So here we have lots of problems in speaking. First, ideas. Second, grammar. And third, and third, the shortage of vocabs. So when you speak, okay, please try to focus on yourself. Don't think much about other people. Here, okay, we are stuck in the terms of government and governmental and govern. These are the three words that I need to practice with you for the last time in this class. Government, govern, governmental. Right, so this is my situation now. Here is my situation for you. I govern, no, it's not me, okay? Govern is the word for us to use for government. The government governs every kind of organization in this country. When we are startups, when we start up, we have to when we start up, we have to abide by the regulation of the government. The first thing that we need to have, that is a business license, and the government governs all kinds of business based on the business license. So when you apply for the business license, and this kind of license has a tax code, and by this code the government will be able to take control of, okay, every kind of business that is operated in this country. So here we have the word like government, governmental, and govern. In this case, the government governs every kind of organization, from small size organizations to big sized organizations. And when you start up, the government will govern you by the tax code. Whatever you do, you need to pay tax. Whenever the customer buys your product will be issued with a code on the bill. And this code on the bill will be VAT added, which means will be tax added. So you have to be careful. You have to be careful of the way that the government govern the business. And we have faced lots of governmental issues. The first governmental issues these days is tax, okay, tax calculation. And the second governmental issue these days is 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 road construction. And the last governmental issue these days, of course, is education. So here we have three things, three matters when we are talking about government. First, tax calculation. Second, education, okay, and third, road construction. Okay, so here, John, okay, Gracie, I need you to speak up. I need you to share your ideas about these three matters of the government: tax issues, education, road construction, and please remember to use the three words govern, governmental. All right, govern, governmental. I'm gonna write down these words here. Oh, I know. Wait, please wait. I know a perfect way for us to write. It's gonna look much nicer. I love it. Yes, that's it, man. All right. What? Not all right here. Crazy. Okay, so I'm gonna choose an orange. Here, govern, right? Govern, an action verb I want you to use. And the second, that is governmental. Oh my God, this is not a new way for me to write on the board, but I feel so good. I feel so good when I can write on my laptop screen like this. Crazy. Government. All right, these are the three words that I want you to pay attention. The last one, that is, okay, those are the ideas, those are the matters, which are, we have something like education, right? Education, and road construction, and tax issue. So let's go. Please remember, these are the words that I want you to use when you're speaking. Okay. One word, two, three, and four. Okay, let's go, Crazy. Show me. Let's go, girl. Let's go. Come on.
I need just a minute to think.
Yeah. Whenever you need a minute to think, I have to speak up for another minute. Because I don't want to be passive in the way that I teach. Alright, when you are thinking, please listen to me because I think that my ideas will help you a bit. Oh gosh, my laptop is crazy here. See, I cannot touch anything. What is wrong? Okay. Alright. How do I? Oh, it's much better. It's much better. Okay, so here we are talking about education, road construction, tax issue. Lots of words for us to focus. And here on the board, you can see that on the screen. Okay, on the screen you can see that I have listed down the 5 words for you. 6 words already. Govern. So here is my case. The government governs this. The government governs the system of education, road construction, and tax. And here, speaking of road constructions, we can see that all roads in Vietnam these days are damaged severely. Lots of trucks, lots of heavyweight vehicles move on the roads, and the weight and the overweight vehicles, the overweight of vehicles make the road become worse and worse each day. That is why, okay, the government needs to invest a bit of money on invest a bit of money into renewing the road. We cannot construct the road all of a sudden, but the government will use, okay, the foreign investment in order for them to build roads. But here, the crazy thing here is that after they build roads, they still get money. They still get money from the residents, from people, from Vietnamese people. Every time you drive on the road, and every time you go through uh, pay toll, like TOLL, the pay toll, you have to pay for the ticket, like 30,000 or 50,000 per vehicle. It's not much, but the problem here is, okay, the system has big problems. The way that the government governs, okay, education is worse than ever. We study English for 12 years, okay, in Vietnamese school, but we still become incapable of speaking this language, and we have to use, okay, we will have to use another way to study this language by hiring a tutor or getting ourselves a teacher or going to centers. But even when you go to centers these days, you still find the service in the center impossible for you to study. So what is the problem here? What is the problem here? What is the situation here? The education system here is 100% is thoroughly governed by the government already. That is why, okay, we cannot say that. That is why we keep saying that if we had money, we would invest in foreign education. But here, let's look at this case. When you invest 1 billion Vietnam dong in education, would you be able to make 1 billion Vietnam dong again to pay back to your parents? Your parents spent like 1 billion Vietnam dong in education. Here, okay, after you study, you get married, you give birth to children, and then that is it. It's like money, okay, from family in order to build your own future. And that is unfair to parents because they have to work real hard to get this kind of money, and then you use the money on you, and then you build, okay, a new family for yourselves. It's so bad, right? It's very bad. So here the situation here, the education system here, okay, does not guarantee us the outcomes. After we study, we get no outcomes, okay, from education. We still sit at home and waiting for classes, waiting for jobs, for example, and you still find yourself, okay, and you still find yourself stuck in this world. So it seems like we have to find a way out. We have to find a way out from this kind of education. Road construction, like in my place, when it comes to road construction, it's it looks like a third it looks like a third world war here. It looks like a third world war here because every day I get out of my office, I just want to take a walk around the neighborhood, and I find myself looking at the damages caused by road construction workers. The roads, okay, are still under construction, and the progress of construction is very slow, which impacts the life of the citizens, which impacts the lives of the residents. It's so hard to make money. People keep saying that it's really hard for them to make money these days. People keep saying that. So when people say such thing, you will find yourself, okay, so sad, right? You will find yourself very sad when people keep saying it's so hard for me to make money these days. Well, nobody wants to hear such thing. Nobody wants to hear such thing. So here we are talking about a case in which we will be able to use the action verb govern, government, or governmental here, okay. Next we are gonna have, okay, another topic for us. That is, here I give you the keywords like road constructions on the what else. Oh, education and tax. I hate tax, man. Look at Vietnam these days. Look at the gold companies. You know, gold. You can take an examples of gold company these days. The gold companies, the gold stores. Okay, when people sells golds in stores, people sell golds in companies. They are so scared these days. They shut down their business everywhere. Okay, gold companies everywhere shut down the business. Gold stores, okay, all places in Vietnam shut down their business for some reason, for one reason, which is they are scared of the governmental inspectors. We have the word governmental inspectors here. Govern, okay, governmental inspectors. They are scared of the governmental inspectors or the supervisors. All right. Okay, so here is the case. Here is the case for us to practice. So do you have any ideas? Crazy. Love it, because today I can practice with you.
Um, my idea is the local government has working on has been working on improving the area roads and transportation in recent year. A lot of money has spent on building new roads and they fixing old one. This road project are connected to the government plans to make education better and uh, is to improve transport. Um, Transportation will help the pupil get to school and learning center more easily, and controlling this transportation and education program take cooperation between different government offices and the apartment. Um, the the process can be slow and complicated at times, but the government is clearly mm, dedicated to improving the community road. Doesn't.
All right, it's good. Grace is good. Well, I love to spend more time with you, but maybe tomorrow. Tomorrow, let's spend more time together. When you study with me, I'll get like the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, especially Friday after Friday evening, man. I still think right now. I still think right now is the afternoon. Crazy me, right? Crazy. So here, when tomorrow when you study with me, okay, please try to study more. Maybe we can study until 9, or maybe we can study until 8:30. It depends on the amount of knowledge provided in the class, right? Okay, so here, okay, please look at. Oh my gosh, my name just flies on the board. Sometimes I find out something, okay, from a software, and I don't know the reason why I feel so fun. Maybe I've been working so much, and even okay, the simple things make me feel so fun. All right, here. Okay, let's talk about tax for the last time. 5 more minutes, man. 5 more minutes. Tax and education. All right, so this is the topic for me, okay, to get your attention. Tax and education. Tax. Let's look at Vietnam. Look at Vietnam, all right? Okay. Oh, hello, Miss Han. Thanks a lot for watching my video. Sorry, okay, because I have to. Sorry, something happens to my TikTok and then I end the class. Thanks a lot, Miss Han. Have a nice evening, Miss Han. All right, so here. Sorry, okay, I keep talking to invisible friend. Right, man. Tax education. Okay, so here, let's go. Tax. Gosh, why do people have to pay for tax? Why do people have to get education? It's such a very simple question, right? But it's very hard for us to answer. Why do we need to study? Yes, when you go to have an IELTS test and the examiner will ask many stupid questions, and then you will find yourself with no ideas at all because you have prepared yourself, okay, a lot based on learning by heart. But here we don't learn things by heart, we learn things by brain and by mindset. So we have to make sure that we will be able to speak no matter how hard the topic is. You have to relate the topic to your own to your own real life experience. Alright, so let's talk about tax and education. I don't like tax. Okay. People keep asking me, what do I register for? Oh my gosh, I hate the word register. Because in Vietnam, okay, we usually pronounce this word like register. But no, it's not register, it is register. Register for. People keep asking me, why do I register for, okay, the company's name, or okay, or the school's name. it does, okay, it is not necessary for me to register for the brands, because people don't need, okay, a company anymore. People don't need, okay, a center anymore, because they are tricked by center a lot, and they lose lots of money. So whenever they come to me, okay, they just think about the quality of teaching, and they just want me, okay, to directly teach. So that is what people keep saying. Here, okay, register for education brands. Here we have a topic like, why do people register for education brands, brand. Here, okay, brand, we have the word like this. Why do we have a company? Why do we need to register for, okay, this kind of company? Let's talk about tax and education once again, Gracie. I am talking about tax and education. Tax. Some people think that if they register for a name, they register for a company, this company will be protected by authorized group belonging to the government. Whenever you open your store, you will not be afraid of policemen come to your store and asking you for coming to your store and asking you for some tips, tips, asking for you, asking for coffee, or asking for a little bit of money. People these days are afraid of policemen. People these days are afraid of police, because the police, yes, of course, the police protect the residents. The police protect people, but these days police makes, okay, some money from people. So when it comes to tax, people think that if I register for a company's code, I have a brand of myself, I have a company's brand, and then I will pay tax, okay, just a little bit tax at the beginning of the year, I will be protected by the government. No, never. You get protection, but that kind of protection is not enough. What you need to do, okay, is that you still have to pay a lot of money for tax. And when, okay, the policeman cooperates with the tax department in the government, all two departments cooperate together, they will get you, okay, to pay more for tax. So here, okay, we shouldn't think of company, we shouldn't think of brands, we just need to think of quality. If you want to start, okay, from the very first step, when it comes to education, speaking of education matters in Vietnam, we can see that lots of schools are produced. Lots of schools are registered for business. Lots of places registered for language service. So, what do we get from these schools? What do students study from these schools? Nobody knows, right? Whenever you go to school, do you feel like you consume the right knowledge? Yeah, you need to ask yourself some question like this. When you go to school, do you feel like you consume, okay? You consume the right knowledge? No, right? You feel like you learn a lot. You feel like you are so tired. You feel like you are stuck for no reasons. So, okay, that is my that is my ideas for tax and education. Right now, I'm going to give you some time, and you should think of a way to talk about this topic. I'm going to end the Zoom now, but you have to rest just a bit time. Take a short rest, and then record yourself speaking. I need a presentation video from you. All right? I need a presentation video from you in this evening, right? So here, I'm going to end the Zoom. I cannot take too much of your time. So me ending the Zoom right now and waiting for your presentation video. I'm gonna end right now.
Recording stop.
Uh, What?